before we run ahead, let me use all this shit. I didn't mean to put it on usables. Hold on, give me a minute. Wait, how do I... Oh, there we go. Sorry, I kind of forgot the control there for a minute. Okay, let me use all this stuff. No, I wanted to use all 4. Thank you. I don't have any more of this Dragon Vein shit, but we're gonna use the Dragon Vein's Cure Powder or whatever the fuck. Just in case I get mopped. Like if I get my ass beat really, really bad. And we're gonna pop some elixirs too. So if you'll notice, this is the village that we first started the game in. And the other cool thing about this boss is I only remember it having 1 phase. I think it only has 1 phase, but the phase is like pretty gung-ho crazy. Yeah, there we go, that's what I was looking for. Never been so happy to see a battle flag in my life. Oh, look at that. We fucking rounded it out beautifully. Look at that, even all across the board. Okay. Remote mountain village, Longya State, Zhu Province. This deserted mountainous village is located in an obscure part of Zhu Province. The few who survived the turmoil brought by the war have long since left. Before long, this village's name will be completely lost to time. Aside from the ruined shrines once used for ceremonies, there remains few signs of the brighter days once spent here. Okay, so before we drop down, we're going to be using some of these. Okay, we can only use 1. Alright, so that's fine. And we're good to go, I think. Oop.
因丹药之力与邪龙合一，又因结义之力恢复人身。反复转换之下，产生了预想不到的结果。
Can you say final boss arena?
终于落入老夫之手，这还真多亏了你呀！作为谢礼。
看呐，老夫巨大的力量！
Oh, I thought I countered that. Alright, well played. Oh, come on, man. I thought I pressed circle right there, Chief. Oh, fuck. You little bitch. Wait, what are you doing? Dude, I'm countering that, bro. Fucking dick. Dick. Oh, a third? Holy shit. Didn't know he does triple counter. Fucking Jesus, Chief. Every fucking time, dude. Oh, come on, I countered that. Dick weasel. Come on, dude. Shoot! Aw, fuck me. Little bastard. I was like slightly off. Ha! Fucking nerd. Get wrecked, dork. Aw, he fucking baited me. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, you asshole! Fight me, you fucking pussy! He's a cool boss when he's not a fucking nerd. Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Shoot. Oh, you punk bitch. Thought I countered that. Get it, big dog? Fuck you, bitch. Stupid little fucking force-using Jedi fucking swami dumb dark side asshole. Yeah, he's a really cool boss. It's a fucking awesome-ass boss. See, what I like about him is when you fight UG, he only has that dive counter. But they bait you, and they give him another red counter follow-up, even in Phase 1, where throughout the rest of the game, every time you fight a boss, they always have a follow-up red counter in their Phase 2. But they give him a follow-up red counter in Phase 1. That's why I said he only has one phase, but like his second form of the first phase gets more moves and shit. But like then they give him a third counter, and it's like a really delayed one that they know you're gonna spam or whatever. And that's why I was like, oh, he fucking baited the shit out of me. Because like I didn't expect it to be that delayed. Yeah, but that's the final boss of Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It's a really good fight. Just like Zhang Lao, that's a very, very well made fight. Like it's actually very fun. And it's very fair. Like, it feels like a lot of the mistakes you make are due to your own incorrect timing. Whereas, you know, like some other bosses, it's just off-screen bullshit, or like spam, or whatever that you can't see. Like, nonsensical positioning or relation issues. It's like, this is just a really good boss. It's actually, like I said, it's one of my favorite bosses in anything I've ever played, ever. Like, it embodies the exact formula that they used all throughout the game, and it capitalizes on each of the individualistic aspects that make up the combat. Very, very well. But, like, notice how he's a lot easier than UG, because he's not just constantly spamming spells all the fucking time, and, like, backpedaling like a bitch. He's actually kind of interactive. Like, he'll kind of come after you. That's a high standard, saying he's had a lot going for it. Yeah, like, he's a good fight. Like, Team Ninja actually developed one of my favorite boss fights ever. Like, the final boss of Neo 2 fucking sucked ass. Like, Otakamaru was good, and then they came out with Nightmare Bringer, and Nightmare Bringer's a fucking hot piece of dog shit. Final boss of Neo 1, hot piece of fucking dog shit. This game, fucking great final boss. And it's a great final boss because it's not unfair, it's learnable. Like, it actually feels adaptable, and it's actually aggressive. And you're supposed to counterplay and use its aggressive nature against it, and you're supposed to learn it and then use its power against it. Like, that's what I like. Like, I like having something to adapt to, not a boss relying on some cheap, stupid bullshit spam or projectiles or fucking stupid dumbass status effects or whatever, or being off camera and just spamming shit. It's like, it actually feels like a great fight.
看来练兵效果显著，公瑾。
是，定当令来犯敌军，葬身江底。前往下一个目标。
父亲，兄长，
还请你们庇佑孙氏的未来。
终于要南征了，天下太平指日可待。
听闻刚出世的司马懿似乎很受重用。
禁忌之力吗？
We did it, brothers. We beat Wolong Fallen Dynasty again. So yeah, that's Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So things that this game does well in comparison to other Team Ninja titles, a lot of the reason that I refuse to play Neo 1 again is because they bank way too heavily on ridiculous damage values that punish the player overtly for absolutely no reason. So the reason I really dislike Neo 1 is because they don't give the player adequate room to adapt to things. It's things just hit way too hard, they take your entire health bar, if they don't kill you in one hit, they do like all your health and then another half of your health bar. It's like the damage values are way too ridiculously outrageous for me to appreciate that game. Neo 2 has a much better structure, much better combat, way better fluidity, more weapon dynamics, more mechanics that actually make up the combat and fulfill a lot of dead air in it. And I think that's a lot better. And the balancing throughout the game is way, way better. It's way, way more easily appreciated when compared to its brethren, Neo 1. And I feel like the boss designs and the concepts are a lot more well-rounded. They have a lot more unique designs to them, and they're not just like cut and paste like with like 3 or 4 or 5 moves. That being said, like I think Neo 1's bosses are really, really simplistic, and that's kind of the truth in this game as well. But implementing a counter Sekiro-like nature to the game has allowed them to dissect bosses and give them variance in the way their movesets work and the counters that they do. So, like, as you saw in the embodiment of demonic chi for the fight or whatever, like, it flies up into the air, it has a really slow counter, and then it has a really fast wing counter, which you saw I was never able to react to because I couldn't gauge the difference between the two. But that being said, this game is all about, like, muscle memory and adaptation, and this game relies very heavily upon that and player capability. And that's why I said this game is really simple, and people think it's a really hard game, and it's not really all that hard. If you have good muscle memory, and you have good reaction time, and you're good at registering shit in your mind and relaying it to your hand, and you have good, like, cognitive ability to do that, it's really good. It's really easy. And the game is very able to be appreciated, and it's very approachable in that regard. But the negative edge on your inputs, like when you come out of an action, not allowing you to input another one, really is detrimental in this game. Like, I can't state it enough. And you don't really understand it until you play the game for yourself, and you can mentally dissect how it works and the way it's structured. So, like, it's very easy to sit there and watch somebody play the game and, like, interpret that they've mistimed something or get mad at the game when it's, like, it's not actually their fault. On top of that, there's the animation commitment issue. So in between the dropped inputs, the negative edge, and the fucking, like, commitment to animation, it's a big blender fucking smoothie mix of just bullshit. And then on top of that, you have the camera system being very uncooperative when you want to lock onto a particular target. And like I said, this game relies very heavily on sound cues. So, like, if you're good at adapting to sound cues, you don't need to see your target visually all the time. But in instances where you could otherwise avoid very hefty damage or whatever, like, it's fine if it's just, like, let's say it's a basic-ass dweller bitch with a scimitar doing a fucking counter move on you or whatever, and it takes out, like, a quarter of your health. Not a very big deal. Especially because Wolong has a lot of supplementary spells and gives you a very heavy variety in being able to tune your playstyle to whatever the fuck you want. So whatever element you want to base yourself in, whatever armor set you want to run. Like you saw, I was able to do the entire game without an armor set. I didn't need a set bonus. Like, I didn't need any of that shit. Because the game primarily relies on your ability to respond to things. And, like, I'm usually pretty good at rhythm shit, so... the pros and cons of this game are both very, very good. Like, but they outweigh each other in their own personal respects. So, like, I think this game is very, very good. I have minor hangups and issues with it, but they're not the end of the world. You know, like, they're not enough of a tipping factor for me to hate the game. Like, I would say it's a solid 7 or an 8 out of 10 for me, honestly. Final verdict? That being said, I have not played any of the DLC yet, so as I stated before, I've seen Lord Spawn play a bit of the DLC. I know Gan Ning is one of the bosses, and I know he fights with fists. I know there's a giant sexy rose lady, and that's about it. And I've seen a little bit of Tai Shi, but like that's all I've seen. So like the rest of it is going to be absolutely blind. I don't know the enemies, I don't know the builds, I don't know the weapons, I don't know the bosses, I don't know the maps. It's basically a whole new experience. I think the skills being tied to weapons is something that I hard disagree with, especially for variety purpose. Well, that's the thing, is they will allow you to put skills from other weapons onto other weapons. You can override their skills. I don't know if it's in later playthroughs through customization, but you can variety space your weapons to do whatever you want. So, like, let's say you got a weapon, but it rolled with a skill that you don't want, you can supplement that skill for another skill. You can do that. The game allows flexibility in that regard to be able to have that be done.
你要走了？
因为仍能察觉到邪气。你也要来吗？
我会留在这里，为了用这双洞穿天命的眼睛，开辟新的时代。
Team Ninja and DLC go hand in hand with scratching your ball sacks. So, when the guy removes the blindfold, you'd expect him to have some really cool, sick-looking pimp eyes, but he doesn't. He just looks like a normal fucking person. It's, like, kind of boring. See? Boring. Visions of DLC, everybody. So, get your fill. We will be tackling the first of the 3 DLCs next time on Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It's been a hell of a playthrough. Honestly, I didn't do half as bad as I thought I would do, being as rusty as I am. I think I might have died maybe 5 times throughout the entire playthrough, if that. Not very bad at all. Oh no, Lu Bu kicked my ass quite considerably, but to be fair, that was the game robbing me with negative edge. So I'd say maybe about like 15 deaths, something like that. And majority of those came from Sir Lu Bu, so... All in all, not bad, not bad. I thought we would get rinsed way harder. I thought we would be benched on the sideline. I thought we would be getting ass whipped with towels in the men's locker room after the football game.